Good morning, it's Bob Massi. Can't believe it's Wednesday already. I apologize. A week got away from me. Remember, by the way, go to our website, massiandmassey.com, because we have a lot of good blogs that we've been writing on different subjects and some new stuff that we've posted, so you may find it of interest and share it with your friends. I've done personal injury, as I've told you in the past, for 37 years, and one of the most common calls that I get are people that trip and fall or slip and fall, whether it be in casinos, restaurants, somebody's house, on the street corner, in a parking lot, all over the place. Remember that just because you trip and fall or slip and fall doesn't necessarily mean that you have a case. In any type of case, there's two parts of it. First part is liability. You must prove who's at fault. And the second part of it, if you get over that one, is damages. What kind of damages did you sustain? Well, the Supreme Court of our state, and because we live in a transient state, and because we live in a state where conventioners from all over the world come here, obviously the case law has somewhat protected, if you will, premises owners because of the fact that we get so many people in casinos that trip and fall and slip and fall every day. And I get calls and say, I tripped and fell, in a casino, and I was hurt and I broke my shoulder. And I'll say, well, what did you trip and fall on? They'll say, I don't know. I say, well, did you were there any witnesses? No. Did you do a statement to anybody? No. Did you call security? No. There's no case. If you trip and fall or slip and fall, it has to be some type of condition where it's something, for example, I've had cases where there's a step up going into a restaurant. It's the exact same color, cement all the way. It's a pretty steep step. There's no color codes at all to put you on notice. Or I've had some cases where people walk in a common area in an apartment complex and there was some work done and the grass grew over the hole and they put their foot in and they broke their leg or broke their hip. Okay, those kind of cases, there's a duty to make sure that there's safe conditions and safe premises for people whenever they are navigating on those premises. For example, let's say you're in a supermarket and you're walking down an aisle and somebody at the end of the aisle takes Wesson oil and drops it on the floor and there's oil on the floor. And then you slip and fall on it. Well, one of the defenses to slip and fall cases is, did the property owner, did the premises owner have notice of the condition? Obviously, in circumstances like that, the premises owner doesn't have notice. And as a result, it will be very difficult to prove, because that's the most common defense that's used against any type of plaintiff that puts a claim in for damages from a trip and fall or slip and fall, and that is notice. Did that premises owner have notice of the condition that then would have allowed them to fix the problem that existed? So remember, if you are in any way involved in a slip and fall or trip and fall case, and you know the condition after you trip and fall or slip and fall, you see the condition that was there. It's very important, number one, if it's in a public place, you call security. Obviously, if it's somebody's home, you take a picture of the condition. And also that you do an incident report. For example, if it happens in a supermarket or any public place, you call security, you get an incident report filed, because those are the things that are important to show that this is a legitimate claim that may be made. But remember, just because you trip and fall and slip and fall doesn't mean the other person's at fault. You've got to prove that the condition existed, that they would have had plenty of time to know that that condition existed to get you to the damages part of the case. If I see 10 cases in the area of slip and fall or trip and fall, 9 out of 10 cases, they're not very good cases. I've had success with the ones that I've taken over the years, but you got to hire experts on these cases. You have to be able to make sure that everything's properly documented on these cases in order to make sure that everything is put in a place where I can prove liability on your behalf. One last thing. One of the biggest detriments that we're dealing with in the personal injury area, and be honest with you, just in general, business disputes and real estate, is Facebook. People end up putting things on their Facebook page that many times, if they have a pending business case, real estate case, personal injury case, whatever it may be, can hurt you. Not all things have to be public, guys. Certain things should be private. And as a result, just understand that I know we live in a world that everybody thinks everybody really cares about what you do every day, But I have specifically in the cases that I have telling my clients, do not post anything on Facebook because it's legally discoverable in a lawsuit. And these insurance companies will go look to all those things. So I realize a younger generation, they don't know what privacy means unless they become a victim of some stupid Facebook stuff, which they have in the past. But the bottom line is, whether it be a new way to communicate, I could care less. Not all of it is good. Informational things like this is good. Helping people like this is good, but don't go in there. I have to tell you real quick, I had a case years ago where a girl got hit by a car in front of the MGM, and she hurt her leg and her hip. She lived out of state. So I put together the case and I sent a demand to the insurance company. And at that time it was Space something, whatever it was, the previous one from Facebook. I don't know what it was. What was it? MySpace. And the insurance adjuster said, Mr. Massi, let me show you something. And he sent me some information that my client stupidly put on her MySpace, where she was in a karate class kicking her right leg that was allegedly injured past her head, okay, where there was no injury. The case was over. Bottom line is, if you have legal disputes going on, don't put things on Facebook, because many times it could hurt you. This is Bob Massi. Our office number 702-870-1100. Website massiandmassi.com. Obviously, share this if you'd like with your friends. I'll see you next week.